The Democratic National Committee is making moves.
Big moves.
Big moves with a capital M. Big moves, right? So despite multiple claims by the DNC of remaining neutral during the 2016 Democratic primaries, it was very evident who the preferred candidate was. It was Queen Bee herself, Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Sorry, that's reserved for Runny Boo Boo. That's reserved for RBR.
So in an effort to appear neutral going forward, the DNC making some changes. The DNC plans to bar employees and officers from publicly endorsing any presidential candidates throughout what is expected to be a crowded intra-party competition for the job of taking on President Donald Trump. The rules would prohibit DNC staffers and officers from financial contributions to particular candidates, attendance of events that could suggest partiality, public statements or social media posts espousing presidential preferences, internal communications expressing views for or against Democratic candidates, and even gestures like displaying bumper stickers or lawn signs for individual campaigns. Good job, DNC. Trying to make moves. So look, because you know the problem we had, because the chair at the time was none other than Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz, right? Mm-hmm. And despite her claims that she was very neutral, impartial, this was a process where no candidate was preferred. We were just going to let this whole thing play out. Despite all those claims, it was again painfully evident who was the preferred candidate. Not the preferred candidate. Who was the chosen candidate? It was Hillary Clinton. So again, the DNC is trying to make moves to, I guess get that negative stick, that negative attention, that negative.
Oh, so wait. So what are you suggesting? That the push to implement these rules actually gives credence to the notions that, I guess, the election was rigged, the primaries were rigged?
Damn it, that might be. Damn it, you drew that connection that quick?
That the DNC and its leadership tipped the scales in the 2016 primaries?
Yeah. It seems
towards
to
their preferred candidate.
It does seem to just, because if you're going to make changes, seems to be that in 2016 something was amiss.
Something was amiss, because if that wasn't the case, then changes wouldn't be necessary. You don't fix something that's not broken.
Right,
so like pushing to implement like these new rules actually proved the case that a lot of progressives were making, a lot of Bernie supporters were making. A lot of people were looking at Bernie supporters like they were crazy. Like, what are you talking about, right?
But there were many that were saying, you're crazy. You're just interested in conspiracy theories. This is a fair process.
You're just bitter.
Right. So you remember Debbie Wasserman Schultz too, after the fact, she was like, hey, if I wanted to rig the election, I could have. But I didn't.
But why would, you see, she was reaching so far there, because why would you admit that? Why would you admit that, see, I could have done it, but I didn't.
I had the power to.
I had the power to, so, like, I'm going to give myself a pat on the back for not rigging it. So doesn't this kind of suggest that the DNC is kind of admitting that
some guilt here,
admitting some guilt?
I would think so. But see, look, I guess this is sort of a good look on its face. It's like, okay, hey, they're saying these things that they want to be impartial. They don't want any of its officers taking a position that will look like somebody is the preferred candidate. Because again, this is probably going to be a crowded field in 2020. Mm-hmm. We don't want to put our back in we don't want to give anybody our back in, right? We're just going to let the process play out, and then we're going to support whoever the nominee is, right? Again, it sounds good, but we know that everything that went on was not in front of our faces. We know that a lot of the things going on were behind the scenes as well, and we know that, partially we know that because of the leaks that came out, like the DNC leaks that came out, the emails. We got a glimpse at the shenanigans that were going on behind the scenes. So is this going to do anything to fix that?
It's not going to do anything to fix that. Also, people's perceptions about candidates is not primarily shaped by DNC staffers. It's shaped by the media.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And they can't. Well, I can't. I'm
And
not.
see, they work with the
They
media.
work with the media
Behind the scenes.
Is Joanne Reed a DNC staffer? Is
No.
Rachel Maddow a DNC staffer?
No.
No.
But they work with them to push their narratives. We saw this. We saw this in
So
2016.
basically, like, they're completely ignoring the bigger problem,
Yes.
which is corporate media,
Right.
which kind of runs on autopilot
Right.
and kind of pushes the corporate-friendly Wall Street-backed candidate.
Right. I view this as largely inconsequential. The moves that they are making. Again, on the surface, it looks like, hey, look, they're really trying to change things. But why are you trying to change things when nothing inappropriate happened in 2016? Okay, let's not even talk about that. They're trying to really be impartial here, but it does nothing to address their impartiality behind closed doors when the cameras are off. It has nothing to do with that whatsoever. That kind of corruption is still going to take place so that we can't see it.